Women belong in the kitchen.
There you go. Perfect. Anyway, what were you saying?
Women belong in the kitchen.
No, you were about to tell her something.
I was about to tell her that I wanted to buy like a bald cap and put it on my head for this, and then I'd shave, so I'd have like the shittiest, douchiest door knocker, and then come in and just be like an Andrew Tate worshiper.
Oh god.
He
Like,
wanted
have
to
you
be
guys
the
heard of
Cobra.
Andrew Tate?
He
I
wanted-
feel like he has some really good ideas.
He wanted to be the Cobra.
I don't think you could like lie your way through like me actually believing that.
He could be very convincing.
Well, you don't have to believe it.
Well, that's fair.
I think you could be a. I think you could be a convincing Andy.
Yeah,
Convincing
like
Andy Tate.
me of all people.
Do you think anybody calls him Andy in his private life?
Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, his toys.
What?
His toys.
Is that what he
You know,
calls?
Woody, Buzz, Rex.
I hate you so
There's
much.
Slinky.
I hate you so fucking much. I thought you were talking about the prostitutes that he captures.
Well, yeah.
Are they prostitutes
yeah,
or are they just 12? I don't understand.
yeah, this
Yes,
is their names.
both.
Woody, Buzz, Slinky, Rex,
Slinky.
Pig, Mr. Potato Head,
Mrs.
so
Potato
wrong.
Head.
Potato Head. You know what that means.
Mrs. Potato. Oh
No,
my god.
No, Mr. and Mrs. Potato
What do
Head.
they chew up a mouthful of seasoned curlies and then go down on them? Is that what Potato Head is?
I mean, yeah, you could say that.
I thought you had something in mind when you said potato. You were like, you know what Potato
so
Head
mushy,
means.
it's like potato salad.
Oh.
Ew. Oh god.
Sloshing it around. That's a good start. I think we're off to a really good start. Don't look at me
was
like
so-
that. Don't look at me like that. He showed up, he was going to be Andrew Tate.
Yeah, you would have liked it.
I actually would have.
Yeah,
When you
it
showed up
is-
to the Mario movie, wearing the whole
Ensemble, like the autist I am, yes.
That was worth it.
that was a beautiful thing. I was so happy about that. It was one of those things where like I remember a time where I probably would have been pretty embarrassed about that.
Why? People go dressed up to movies all the time.
No, I know. Now I understand that it's stupid to be embarrassed about that.
Like,
kind of
I've seen
stuff.
pictures of people going to the Mario movie in full Yoshi cosplay with a full Yoshi outfit on, like
Yeah.
suit. I'm like,
Wait, who would go
like
to?
a furry type suit, but it's Yoshi.
but it's Yoshi, no fur.
Wait,
Yeah, but no, you know what I'm talking about. Like,
furry Yoshi. Furry Yoshi.
No, a scaly, maybe. He's technically a dinosaur.
Dude, imagine a hyper-realistic, scaly Yoshi walking into a movie theater.
You can Google it. It's on the internet.
When did you see a Yoshi going to a movie theater?
It was on some Twitter video.
What
it was-
movie? Oh, it was for
Somebody
the Mario
was
movie.
filming.
Okay. I
someone-
thought you saw it in
yeah,
person.
No, I've seen it
Yeah.
on a video.
I thought you went to see like Star Wars and there was somebody showing up as
What?
Yoshi. That would be pretty
I mean-
hard though. That'd go kind of
What
nuts.
you could show up as like Jurassic Park as a Yoshi, because I mean Yoshis and dinosaurs are. I've never seen a Jurassic Park movie.
Not a single one.
No, I've seen half of
I
one.
did.
Do you just-
It pissed my mom off.
Why?
Because when it first came out, I was a little kid, and my dad's like, "Oh, you want to see the dinosaurs?" And so we watched the movie, and I went home after that weekend and told my mom, and she's like, "Motherfucker, I'm gonna kill him."
That's fair enough though. I don't know. I always thought dinosaurs were a little lame.
Remember when we bullied our
grandpa?
grandpa into taking us to see a shitty 300 parody movie?
Dude, what was that called?
Meet the Spartans.
Meet the Spartans.
We
Meet the
never,
Spartans.
we were like kids. We
Yeah.
hadn't watched 300 because.
Also,
like,
I'm pretty
why
sure
would-
that
What
movie was
kid
technically
watched-
too old for us, but
It
we
was,
could
it
only get
was.
into it because
we had adults.
G-Paw was with
Yeah,
us.
yeah. No, yeah, it was like you watch the shitty like disaster movie and shitty like
Yeah.
parody movies. Well, this was the 300 parody movie. We had never seen 300. We were kids.
Yeah.
We just saw commercials like, it's funny. It has an American Idol joke in it.
Yeah.
That's what it was too.
Yeah, because we played American Idol on PS2 and we watched all
Yeah.
the shitty clips on YouTube, like the old ones.
Yeah. So we were like, we want to see that movie, and Grandpa was like,
All right, bud.
And I remember we went to some shitty like old ass movie theater.
Yeah. Was it the dollar one? Or was
No. The dollar one is the one that we went to for Mario. It's just they revamped it into that.
Really?
Yeah, that was the old dollar theater.
Get the fuck
They remodeled
outta
it. They
here.
remodeled it into that bistro. That was the same building.
That's insane.
Yeah, there's no dollar theater anymore here.
That's so sad.
there's no way you could like afford to keep a dollar theater running anymore.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, I mean, it was the snacks is where they get you, because the concessions were.
True.
ridiculous.
The
I mean,
tickets
even movie tickets on their own aren't expensive.
No, they're not bad.
No.
No, not really at all. Like $12 a person at most.
That ain't shit, dog.
That's not bad.
And plus, like 90% of like the employees there don't care about you smuggling in snacks. They do not care. I rarely do it because I forget to prep. I don't pregame because I'm terrible. I don't plan things very well.
Pre-gaming for the movies.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but like I mean, like stuffing Skittles in your jacket and all that stuff. I used to do that.
Oh my
like
god,
that
my
lasted.
mom used to do that all the time. You know, you'd go to the gas station right before, like, you go to the movie.
I know you don't remember.
You get all, like, the little snacks, you throw it in the bag.
That's
My mom had a
absolute
mom
insanity.
purse.
You don't-
Y'all know mom purse.
My god sister did it, and she grabbed a bunch of stuff before she left the house, and we went and watched Magic Mike.
What?
Yes, she's like, I need my.
Did she
Twix
grab,
Lays."
like,
Were you eating-
Slim
were you eating
Jims?
bananas, like
Bananas, Slim
No.
Jims,
summer sausage.
She had like Twizzlers and other shit. She just like.
That's
full
pretty
on.
phallic.
That
Pretty
is kind of
phallic.
phallic, yeah.
She grabbed an Italian sausage and
She's
threw
sitting
it
there
on
like-
the grill before they went out to the movie.
You gotta get the curve.
It's all in the wrist.
Ugh.
It's all in the wrist.
I hate that visual.
I had space in the overalls for it. I could have.
For Italian sausages?
For anything, really. I could have brought like a bag of like mushrooms.
I should have passed you guys the food.
Like some
Bring
sauteed,
psychedelics. Marty movie?
sauteed mushrooms, you know.
I bet
like,
you the Marty movie would go nuts on psychedelics.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
we
So
got
colorful.
we got it on the Plex here, so I was
What,
able to watch it with her.
Yeah, that place you keep telling me you're gonna get me set up on and never do.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't forgotten. That's alright, I pay for all my streaming services.
It's alright, I have.
I'm a good little pay pig for the corporations.
I've never heard it called a pay pig before. I gotta love that.
You've never heard the word term pay pig?
No, dude.
No, but
Holy
I love
shit, that's
that.
what like OnlyFans girls call their people
I'm
who pay
so-
for their
Dude,
content.
that makes
Yeah.
so much sense.
Yeah, that's what like dominating OnlyFans girls who like people who like to be dominated, like
Yeah.
people who
Like
have
your
sugar
mom.
daddies. They'll be like, yeah, that's right, my little pay pig, pay to see my feet, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a huge
People get off on being
thing.
called pay pigs.
Yeah,
Well, that doesn't necessarily surprise me that they get off on that, but the fact that it's so...
it's so
know.
popular that guys like to be demeaned like that.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Well, I always hear the thing where it's like it's usually people in power or whatever, but I don't buy that shit. I
Oh,
think it's-
absolutely. No.
I think it's got to be basement dwellers too. wait, can we get him like a paper towel? Or something?
yeah.
I'm sorry, I like just picked up.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god.
Awesome.
It pays to have a baby.
I just bukkakied myself.
It's true. Yeah.
I tried
Do you,
to
do you want to explain your situation?
I did. I just said I was bukkakiing myself.
Yeah, boy.
I don't want them to know.
Oh, okay.
No, leave it up to
I tried to get over
Leave it up to their
yeah,
imagination.
imagination,
Yeah.
showmanship.
Yeah. The
Have a little
kayfabe.
showmanship. Yeah, don't.
Don't break the kayfabe.
Yeah, don't break kayfabe.
I understand.
You're gonna have a curtain call right here in Madison Square Garden.
What?
Madison Square Garden curtain call.
What does that mean?
So the Madison Square Garden curtain call was the first real big break in kayfabe in professional wrestling.
What?
Yes, it was in Madison Square Garden.
I do not know this.
It was. The thing is, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, and
Yeah.
Diesel, Kevin Nash were leaving the company, and they were going to WCW. Everyone knew it,
Yeah.
except the fans didn't know it really,
Yeah.
because that was before the advent of the internet, where you could read everything about everyone's contract online.
Yeah, there wasn't constant updates. Like literally, like during
And
a pay-per-view, you can read live.
It was a
updates.
Madison Square Garden house show, I think, and they were wrestling their last match for the company,
Mm-hmm.
and it was, I think Shawn Michaels was there too. I don't remember the exact match, but
Yeah.
and then after the match ended, Triple H, going by the Hunter Hearst Helmsley at that time, he was still the Connecticut Blue Blood.
Oh my god.
They came out and they all did a group hug in the middle of the ring
Yeah.
because they were leaving, and that was sad.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Nobody knew. What
That's
was
the thing.
going on.
Diesel was a good guy at the time.
Yeah.
Hunter was a bad guy. Razor was a good guy. Shawn was a bad guy.
Why are they hugging?
Exactly.
What
no
the
one
fuck?
no one had done that before. That
Yeah.
wasn't something that had been done.
Yeah.
And that's actually why Triple H took a longer time to get over in the business. Because at that time, because it was a big deal. People were pissed.
Well, yeah.
The company was pissed.
Yeah.
But you got to think about it this way.
Wait, the company was pissed that they hugged, or that they were.
That they
leaving?
hugged because now the audience will think, why are the good guys and the bad guys hugging each other?
Yeah,
Because
this is
a lot
back-
of this is before people realized that wrestling was all staged.
Yeah.
People still had it in their minds that this
Back
is
in
a
the
real
day,
thing.
wrestling was a fucking like.
Because you
that
couldn't
was-
go on the internet and say people, oh, this is staged. No, people thought this was real.
Yeah.
So they're like, why are the good guys hugging the bad guys? These guys hate each other, right?
Yeah.
Right?
What the hell's going on?
Okay, wait. Are people that gullible?
Back then,
Yes.
well, back then it was
It was
like
a
I said, no
completely
internet,
different time.
no
Completely
internet.
different time.
Okay,
Completely
but yeah,
different
like you
time.
still watch it, and you're like, "There's no way, like this is
It's
real.
entertainment. It's entertainment.
You're right.
Yeah. But
still, people were upset, and not all the fans were like super mad. It's just some of them knew. Like not everyone was dumb.
Yeah, but also like it was one of those things where it's like even if people knew it was staged, if something like that had never happened before, you would have people like talking. It would get people talking. Like, why are they doing that? They've never done this before.
Okay.
And the most interesting part about it is the aftermath, because then, all right, well, somebody has to be punished for it. Well, Kevin and Scott are leaving.
Yeah,
Shawn Michaels at the time is the world champion. You
Yeah.
can't punish him.
yeah.
So all of it fell on Triple H. He was supposed to win the King of the Ring that year,
Yeah.
and he didn't.
Regal.
They
did.
took it from him,
assumed.
and they took it from him and made him a jobber.
Nice.
They started jobbing him out as punishment, and they gave the King of the Ring to Stone Cold Steve Austin,
No shit.
and he cut the Austin 316 promo at the end of that King of the Ring.
No shit.
So if the curtain call hadn't happened, there would have been no Austin 316.
That's fucking crazy. I did not know this.
Yeah.
Legitimately did not know this.
That's crazy.
That's some of the dorkiest shit. I love that shit though. The nitty gritty details of like
Wrestling.
pro wrestling is so fascinating to me.
You ever watch Dark Side of the Ring?
Yes, the Benoit one,
The Benoit one was crazy. The
The
Pillman
Benoit.
one.
the Guerrero one was crazy.
Yeah. The Pillman. The
Brian Pillman, yeah.
Owen Hart.
Yes.
New Jack.
New Jack's the best one. New Jack is the best fucking one, dude. Have I told you
He's
about New
sitting-
Jack?
No,
He's sitting there-
I just want everyone to know I'm like sitting here with a blank face because I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Let me give you an idea of something. All right.
Used to this at this point.
I'm gonna give you a short little snippet so you can get an idea what New Jack was about.
Yes.
Okay.
So New Jack was an old school gangster. Like he's the kind of guy he would have been a gangster outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in one of the matches, he was in ECW, which was like the extreme weapons all the time.
It was
blood
Wait, I
like
have a
everywhere.
question.
Championship
I have a
wrestling,
question.
right?
What kind of gangster? Like LA gangster or New York gangster?
The kind that'll stab you for looking at him wrong.
I'm
That's-
talking like straight
yeah.
out of Compton style.
Thank you. That
Yeah.
works. Okay.
Yeah. So
There's a difference.
at one point, he's supposed to get put through tables. He's gonna go off a really high ledge, go through some tables. This guy, I forget the guy's name, but he's not important anymore. He's not the guy who went forward.
Yeah.
So the other guy fucks it up, and he misses the tables, hits his head on the concrete, has like a stroke, just a full-on bust his head wide open.
Is that the video you showed me of the guy jumping from like a railing, like a super high railing or something?
That was an indie circuit. It was a botch where somebody was doing a high spot.
Well, I mean,
jumping
ECW was
down.
glorified indies back then.
Yes, yeah.
So here's the
and
thing.
he literally bounced off the concrete.
Months
this dude,
later,
so.
months later, after he's recovered from that and he's back wrestling, the guy who runs it, Paul Heyman, is like, well, we're gonna have your first match back be against the guy who hurt you and really did hurt him.
Yeah.
And so New Jack's already decided he's gonna kill this man tonight.
Yes, actual murder.
Yeah,
Like literally murder.
actually
like,
kill him.
Not like I'm gonna get revenge.
No,
because
he- no,
he fucked
actually
up.
kill
Like,
him.
no,
Yeah,
I'm
he was
actually
gonna
gonna
kill
And
him.
I'll tell
like
you
on
how.
live TV.
He admitted he was going
Yeah,
to kill him.
and this episode, because there's a documentary all about it.
We're gonna
and,
watch it.
And here's the thing. He even said if he'd have like checked up on me in the hospital or sent me flowers or something, it would have been fine. But he didn't say anything about it until I came back and he's like, "Hey man, sorry about that." He's like, "It's fine, it's fine." So they were doing a scaffold match, which isn't really done anymore. But in the ring,
For obvious reasons.
there's a big scaffold that goes all the way up to the roof, like scaffolding.
Yeah.
And they get up there. They're up on the very top, way over the ring. New Jack had hidden away a taser.
What?
Yep. So he pulls out a taser, and he gets it right in the back of his neck and his head. And he's just tasing him.
He's keeping it on there.
Tasing him. And this is verbatim what he said in the what he says in the documentary. And I hear him saying, "Jack, I can't feel my legs." I said, "You ain't gonna need them." Bombs away and throws him
He
off the
tossed him off
scaffolding.
the fucking scaffolding.
Yeah. I said, "You ain't gonna need them."
Bow!
Bombs away.
Holy shit!
This guy survived only because he didn't clear the ring and hit the floor. If he would have hit the floor, he'd be dead. He didn't throw him quite far enough, and he hit the ropes.
Yep.
So he landed on the ropes and kind of like bounced back in.
Mm-hmm.
He still got hurt, but he didn't die.
Yeah. But that was the intent.
So
the
just
intent was for
an
New Jack to kill him.
attempted murder charge.
It's on video too.
It is.
Holy
It's
shit.
absolutely on video. Actually, I think me and Matt were talking about New Jack the other day because New Jack is one of Matt's personal favorites as well because he's the shit. And
He just died last year.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I sent him.
He
that
still
fucking
wrestled,
clip.
too.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
The fuck?
insane. Dude was an animal.
One other time, he took out like a ship and just started stabbing the other guy after yeah.
That's like the barbed wire fight we watched.
It's like mass transit. You remember the mass transit incident?
Yes, yes. No, but we were watching AEW and there was
Be more careful with this now.
yeah, there was a death match with fucking what's his name? Shit.
I don't remember who it was, but it was
Moxley?
insane.
Yeah, Moxley. And with Moxley, he has to bleed in every match. Well, this one they dialed it up to 11. And he was just blading the shit out of himself, and he was just it was ugly.
Oh.
They were dragging their faces across the barbed wire and
Yeah.
everything. It was rough to watch. And she was sitting there like, "What the? Is that fake blood?" We're like, "No,
I'm like, I thought this shit
You
was
ever-
it's
fake.
quote unquote
Yeah.
safe, but like
It's not safe.
it's staged." It's
Well,
staged.
that's why WWE doesn't do it as often anymore. Is because one, the parents they have a more wide fan base. AEW is for more hardcore adults.
Yeah,
Not as many kids watch AEW. A lot of
True.
kids like WWE,
yeah.
and that's fine. But a lot of parents will get upset. Oh, they're bleeding on my show that I have my kids watching.
Yeah, I don't want my
Especially
kids subjected to
now,
this violence.
not as much during the '90s, but now parents are going to be like,
Yeah, in the 90s and early 2000s, ruthless aggression.
they
People
still
didn't get
use
as much
blood
of a
now and
Yeah.
then, but they don't do death matches. And then again, even in the Attitude Era, they didn't really do death matches.
No, they didn't.
I don't
dial
think
it
they
up.
needed to.
Well, a lot of it was like verbal, like language and stuff was the reason.
Well,
that they
yeah, it
were
was
rated.
sex.
Yeah,
The
the sex stuff.
sex
the
sells. I saw a
language.
titty.
Yeah.
Lead his titty
How,
popped out.
how crazy is it that you guys like watch this as like young children like all the time, and like nowadays
fun.
you would like
Mostly.
mention that to a
Mostly.
parent, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, I would never let my like 6-year-old watch like this
I don't know,
hardcore
man.
wrestling."
It was a different world.
I just say it builds character.
I was
I'm just
watching.
saying it.
I was watching a.
But that's a good point. It is fascinating that we watch.
There was a
this
reference
stuff.
to parents not letting their kids watch wrestling in an old commercial for Hey You Pikachu. The mom says no WWF.
Yeah.
My mom was one of them. She actually banned wrestling from being watched with the children because my little sister was a toddler and managed to do an elbow drop on her dad twice from the couch.
That was encouraged in our house. Thank you very much.
That was encouraging in our
Let me
house.
say, we don't have the greatest relationship with our dad, but one of the things that we always did with our dad was when we had a trampoline, we would go out there and him and our dad would have triple threat wrestling matches with our dad.
God.
We would stage moves. He would teach us how to do moves.
We had the VHS camera and
My-
we would make tapes. We made tapes of the fucking wrestling matches that we made.
My favorite story that you've told about your dad is the one of you like jumping on him
Yeah.
from the trampoline.
Yep.
And you both falling down the hill.
We tumbled down the hill. All you see in the video is his legs fly up as we're rolling down the hill. Yeah, no, that house has so many fucking memories.
You
We
ever-
did so much crazy shit.
You ever heard the clip of Dr. David Schultz?
I don't think so.
Does that feel fake?
I
So
don't
there was an
remember.
episode of 2020
Yeah.
back in the day, and this reporter was doing something you really shouldn't have done. Now you shouldn't do it now, but you should have done even less in like the 80s, early 90s. And that's go backstage at a wrestling event, at a WWF event, and tell wrestlers that wrestling is fake.
Oh, I do remember this. I do remember
What?
this. That,
And he
yeah,
went up-
It's
not only
always
did
been
that-
a huge thing. It's always been a huge thing. Wrestlers
can you
fucking
explain that?
because it's not fake. It's staged.
It's
That's
not fake.
the whole thing.
Like you get
Oh.
you get slammed on the ground, it hurts.
You
That
do
mat
get fucked
is not.
up.
It's plywood.
Yeah.
It's plywood with canvas over it. It hurts like a bitch. I've gotten slammed on a wrestling ring before.
Yeah.
Like I took a. This was I think 2016.
I think I remember this.
It was 2016. I got free tickets to a small wrestling event called Frontier Wrestling. They're not around anymore.
Is that the one that we used to go and see?
No, this
or
was a different
that-
one.
Okay.
This was I got tickets because a guy, one of my coworkers at Giant Eagle at the Get Go station,
Yeah.
was the ring announcer,
Oh, that
and
goes hard.
they needed a fan plant for a heel spot.
Nice.
They needed a bigger dude
Yeah.
for their heel to pick up and slam to show how fucking strong he was.
Yeah.
And it made it look like he just picked a fan out of the crowd and beat shit out of him.
I'm not gonna lie, you are the perfect
And I
choice.
said-
You are the
I
perfect
said,
choice.
I love that shit. Let me get in. So it was halfway through the show. He's like, get in here, and I stood up to him. I got in the ring. He picked me up, body slammed me. That shit hurts. It's not, and you're doing that, and you gotta understand they do that like 5 days a week.
Yeah.
They're getting having fights 5 days a week, and then there's no off season. You're going from city to city,
It's
city
true.
to city to city,
There's
country
no
to country.
off-season.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it sucks.
So
This reporter
Yeah.
walks backstage, and he goes up to this guy named David Schultz. And David Schultz was a very old school worker. He wasn't even so much. I don't even know you could say his shit was staged because he was born in the era. He was in the era where
you work stiff.
to train you, and he even tells a story about this because there's a dark shot on him too.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
They he does when he got trained. They didn't train him how to do moves. They took him and they beat the shit out of him. So he goes up to this guy and he's like, "I'm gonna tell you straight up. I think this is fake." And he winds back, smacks him in the face as hard as he fucking can.
Does that feel fake?
And he says, "Does that feel fake?" And he starts getting back up, and he does the other hand, smacks him, and he topples over. He's like, "Does that feel fake?"
It's so good.
That's hardcore.
But yeah, no,
That's bananas.
growing up with that stuff was so looking back, I can see how it may have formed our loudmouths a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the specific era that we watched was all promos, dude. All promos. I mean, granted, the in-ring stuff was fantastic.
I mean, there's a lot of promos now. Not as... I think promos are something that are more WWE-centric right now than AEW.
True.
AEW has them.
True. But they're different. They have a
They're
different
different.
formula. But I mean, when we were growing up, the stuff that we watched. Because we
Yeah.
did watch stuff on cable, but then we would also go on YouTube and watch the older stuff as well.
And we had to get what we get because we weren't not a family that would buy pay-per-views for us.
No.
We never got a pay-per-view until Royal Rumble 2011.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God, you're right.
And that was the one Alberto Del Rio won.
Yes, I
And
remember that.
We were pissed because you're like, it's Alberto.
Fucking, yeah, Alberto's whatever. Did he still have his henchman, his hench guy?
Ricardo Rodriguez, who was a national treasure.
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Oh my God. Memory lane, dog.
Yeah, and after that, they would sometimes buy us for him. After that point,
Yeah, every once in a while.
Once Jason
showed up,
he would sometimes be able to convince Mom to let us buy wrestling events.
Yeah.
Back when we were little, he would watch Raw with us every week. Remember?
Yeah. Yep, I remember that shit. But yeah.
I didn't realize Jason was so into wrestling.
He used to be, not anymore. He was big. He was a big WCW guy.
He does keep up with it though.
Yeah, he keeps
does
up
keep
with
up
it.
with it.
He was a big fan when he was younger.
Yeah.
And when he first got with Mom, he would watch it with us every week.
Yeah. But
as like a bonding thing to try and get to know us better.
yeah, the
it-
stepdad trying to be stepdad
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Is it weird that he doesn't do that anymore?
Not
Or are you
necessarily.
just
Well,
like,
I mean, there's no
whatever
kids in
about
the
it?
house to try to do that with right now.
Yeah. Plus, it's a different vibe, you know.
Well, back then we didn't know him. You know, we weren't. He was just some dude who randomly.
he was some
showed
dude,
up
or
one time.
we would go to his house, his dingy little house.
Yeah.
That was right behind.
and
where
we
he
would play
worked.
Gears of
We'd
War.
play Gears of War
for
multiplayer
hours.
in his living room, for
and he would
hours
just
on
sit there
end.
and watch us. He'd be cool with it.
Yeah, he'd be totally fine.
We play
with
Gears of War and we play Mortal Kombat versus DC.
it. Yeah. Or
Those
Halo
were-
CE. We played a lot of Halo CE. What? Or was that in the house after that?
That was the house after that.
Yeah.
No, the house, man, I was thinking. I have a lot of memories about the houses we were and what we went, and that's like,
That's how I categorize chapters of my life, is where we were living at the time.
I kind of feel envious for that part because I can tell you towns I lived in, but I can't really give you.
You can't pinpoint the houses and like.
Not a lot of them. Like if you took me to Red Bluff, California, I could pinpoint a few of them. I cannot tell you extreme details. Like one house, I don't think even is there anymore. I think they finally like tore it down. It was next to a railroad track.
That's sad.
There is a hill, and the main reason I remember it is because I was maybe 5, because I think it was right before my sister was born, and I was riding my tricycle, and they told me all the time, stay away from the, top of the hill.
Yeah.
Stay closer to the house.
Yeah. Don't
I guess
tumble.
I didn't think I was that close, and I went straight down the hill, and it went right into the house, and
Did you make like a Kool-Aid Man type hole in the wall?
unfortunately no, but my tricycle kind of hit my mouth, and my teeth went through.
God damn!
Oof.
That's that's kind of what happened with the yellow house too. The yellow house they tore down
yeah, that's gone.
that we lived in.
That's the one where we lived on Halo.
yeah. Yeah.
We had the big
did.
screen TV in the big family room.
Yeah.
And we didn't have Xbox Live or anything.
We used
like
to
that.
fight with rubber dinosaurs.
Yeah, fight with rubber dinosaurs, and we had I can tell you all sorts of stories.
Please.
Back when we were on 10th Street.
Your memory is so much more specific than mine. This
And
is
that's
why.
the thing. Mine's gotten furrier.
Oh,
Yoshi.
Jesus.
Oh god.
The older I've got, like I don't remember much about like Cedro or Michael's Drive.
That's fair.
Michael's Drive I do, but after Michael's Drive it gets fuzzy. Like after I graduated,
Yeah.
I don't know why,
Yeah.
what happened, but my memory goes off a hill.
Yeah.
But I remember in 10th Street, which was our first like real childhood home.
That was yeah.
He was a baby in the one before that, but he doesn't remember anything about that house.
Yeah.
The apartment, which is still there and has been remodeled actually quite nicely.
Nice.
So wait, is this house though the one that your mom bought?
Yes.
The 10th Street one?
Yes. 10th Street she bought, but it was foreclosed, so we had to move.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a nice place.
It was a small house, but it was a nice house. The
Yeah.
second floor to that house was gangster looking back. I
That's
didn't
where
realize
that's
how
where
nice
and that's
it
where we
was.
stayed at first. Cause me and him were on the second floor. We had the second floor all to ourselves.
It was
and
dope. I'm not even.
I
gonna
had
lie.
a long stuffed snake,
I remember the fucking snake, bro.
and I would throw it over the banister to the fucking staircase, and he would act like a fucking fish and try to catch it like he was
It'd be bait.
like he was a dog
Yeah.
or something.
It was Bluey type shit. It was literally Bluey type shit. It was so good. The things that we were able to do with the
and because
the little bit that we had.
yeah, and because we had the upstairs to myself, and later on I think Zach moved downstairs and I had the upstairs all to myself.
For a while, but then I remember Mom taking the upstairs, and then we had the bedroom
Eventually.
downstairs.
But I'm talking about before you had moved out, but I hadn't moved downstairs yet,
Yeah.
and that gave me the opportunity. Well, now I can stay up until 2 a.m. when they're not looking and try to finish Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door before I have to give it back to Drug Mart.
Man.
Because when I got
Dude.
prescriptions for my pills, I would get free game rentals from Drug Mart back when they
Yep.
rented games,
Yep.
and I would get game rentals and I would try to play them and beat them. That was our first Sonic the Hedgehog game.
Which one was it? Was it Sonic Adventure 2?
Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube was our first Sonic game.
Man, I thought so.
We rented it.
I thought so.
And we got really upset because we got stuck on Crazy Gadget and we couldn't finish it.
True.
We got stuck
Looking
in
back,
we got
Crazy
stuck
Gadget's all we got stuck on. Jeez.
the Tetris room. Yep.
Was it the Tetris room?
Yeah, it was the Tetris room that we got stuck on.
We were that much of a mouth breather kids.
Well, I mean, that room's
It's a little funky.
if you've never played that game before,
Fair. It's weird. It's very
that
strange.
game's physics did not age
No.
amazingly.
Honestly, yeah. If like when I played it on stream, it's like
Mhm.
to be fair, I glitched past it, so I did it in 2 seconds. But like, it really did just drive into my head how many times we played that fucking game.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Over.
games that me and him we just grew up with, and
We just played them over and over and over again.
that's what happens when you have a dad that doesn't love you. Well, he does. I don't want to say he doesn't love us, but he didn't pay us the attention we deserved, and then we had a stepfather who also didn't really love us.
That he didn't love us. He did not. That motherfucker did not at all.
You
But-
can argue that stepdad didn't even love his own son.
Yeah.
So
Oh man, the stuff.
Now,
he's
do I
doing
think
now.
he's improved? Somewhat.
He has in some ways, in other ways.
Behaviorally.
Behaviorally.
Aggressively, I mean, like
For the most part, yes.
he had
For
a
the
big,
most
he had a big temper, and it's weird. I mean, we're going off the rails with this because
Doesn't matter.
this is how we go.
Yeah.
But it's just like on a big memory that sticks out for me is before he left.
Yeah.
Shortly before he left, he sat down with me, Zach, and Logan in the living room. Mom stepped out of the room because she said, "This is something you've got to do on your own."
Yeah.
He sat down on the couch. We were sitting on the floor, and he apologized to us.
Mhm.
And she maybe was like, "I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
was lazy.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do anything that I didn't want to take care of you guys the way you needed to be taken care of.
Mhm.
It was wrong of me to do this to you guys, and
Yeah.
I hope you can forgive me someday."
Yep.
And that was the last day he was with us.
Yep. And he was gone the next.
Yep.
That was it.
Listen, that's of all of like the shitty stories I've heard about him, like that's. Dude, my dad didn't even have like the audacity to do that.
I give him credit for that. He had the balls to sit down and apologize to
There's
us.
nobody that's all bad. Well, maybe there's a few people, but most people are not all bad. If you look at them as bad, they're not all bad.
Listen, we might as well just title this episode right now "Daddy Issues" because
We
True.
all have daddy
all of
issues.
us.
we literally do all have daddy
Yeah.
issues. We've all got problems, but that's just how it is. But I think I
I
don't
doubt
know.
you'll ever meet my dad, so don't expect
Oh,
that
dude,
one.
I'm gunning for it. I'm gonna stalk him on Facebook. I'm gonna make it happen.
Good luck.
I think he's still in jail.
What?
No, I think he's actually out.
Oh.
I think he's finally off drugs, though.
Oh, let's go. What was it? What was his drug of choice?
I think it was meth.
Nice. Was he real confrontational?
No, not exactly, but he had a habit of lying
Nice.
a lot.
Nice. So
He
he was at
also-
least ashamed. It's the only reason you
Another
really
big
lie.
thing for him, like when I was a kid, is either this is how you got affection. Either you were there and he gave you affection.
Yeah.
If you were not, he completely forgot. Like he
That
had a habit of
sounds-
telling me all the time, "I'll go to your thing." Absolutely forgot.
There's elements of that sound somewhat
It's
familiar.
like every dad has that like one thing
Mm-hmm.
that like every bad dad has that like one characteristic. So like it like drugs or like for me it was just like being an asshole.
Yeah. Being an asshole
For you guys
loser.
it was your dad was super insecure. So
I got
like
to laugh my ass off at him once and be called a horrible daughter by my mother in a very joking way.
Yeah.
Because I was disowned at like 13. I got disowned a second time when I was like 16, but the 13, not even a year later, he ended up calling my mother trying to get sympathy. He works on he was a welder and he worked on big ships.
He was a welder.
Yeah.
It's all coming together now. He was a
Worked at
welder
the
who did math.
factory.
He called and told my mother. I was playing cards with her on her bed, and she told me shh, and she was trying to be sympathetic. He's like, I fell off the boat and I hurt myself, and I'm on the other side, and I just start laughing. And I laughed for like
He
a good
fell
like,
off the boat.
That's what he told her. I laughed
really
for
just
like
fell off the
5
wagon.
minutes. And then I had to leave the room. And then we could find out not even a week later because my mother then for some reason had to talk to her brother, my uncle.
Yeah.
Come to find out, he didn't fall off the boat. He got his ass kicked by my uncle for talking shit.
I love that. I love that. Okay, I also love the fact that he got his ass beat so bad that it was easier for him to say that he fell off of a boat.
yeah.
How unrecognizable are you? Have to be in the fucking Family Guy death pose to fucking. That's unbelievable.
There has to be, like, an
that's the
aerial
Shawn
view
Michaels, I
being
lost
shot
my
at you.
smile.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
That's rock bottom.
A little bit.
That's rock bottom type shit.
Then I also remember there was a brief period where we all shared a bedroom at 10th Street. Do you remember that? Where we had the bunk bed, you were on top bunk, I was on bottom bunk, and then Logan was.
Oh, you mean
in-
Logan? I thought you meant with like mom and.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you
Yes.
guys-
This is
This
after
was-
Logan popped out.
Well, this was Logan's infancy.
Once Logan came into the-
Logan is a very small child, like not quite when he's like 4 or 5 maybe. We were.
So when he
he
was
was
like
4.
painting the walls.
Oh,
that was
dude.
probably more me than him.
Oh, dude.
Oh god, what?
Oh, dude.
I didn't say with what. I mean with like, Jesus, where's your head at? Come on now.
No, 'cause probably poop.
Well, yeah, I mean probably did that.
Sorry,
Probably.
Logan.
Probably.
He ain't gonna listen to this.
Yeah, he
He
does.
is. Yeah, he is.
Oh, is he your one view?
Ouch.
Yeah, he is. No, he's Logan, so he's only half of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other half is still like
It's like
limping
wh-
its way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more his brain degenerates, the lower the count gets.
The lower the view count goes.
Yeah, that was a time when I
would
was on
have him
top
on,
bunk.
too.
I was on top bunk. You were on bottom bunk.
Yes.
Logan had like a crib, not quite a crib, but it was a baby bed.
It
was a
had
bed with a
gate.
fence.
It had a rail on it.
And it was opposite side. And he would often want me to like lay with him.
Yeah.
Both of these fucking kids wanted me to sleep with them all the time in the bed.
True. You were a great source of warmth.
Yeah, I think it's just you were
agree with
chicken
this.
shit.
I was, yeah.
He was a chicken shit baby,
I was.
and Logan just liked attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still
No, that
does.
was,
He was so
that's-
scared of being in a
that has
bed
not
alone.
changed.
He was so scared of being in a bed alone for so long.
Yeah, it's true.
But no, I mean that was for a while. I think
What?
us in the bunk bed with.
Yeah, that was for a fat minute.
Yeah,
And
it was for a fat minute.
And then me and Logan had a room, and then you had...
A room that they modeled after a toy I liked.
Which? So good.
Wonder what happened to those toys?
Which one?
The Cube Worlds.
I don't know,
I
dude.
don't know.
I thought I saw them not
Maybe
that
they're
long
lost
ago.
in grandpa's.
Maybe.
No, I know.
I mean, that's
never
a
you never take them there?
possibility.
I don't remember. It was so long ago, man.
And honestly...
They were good fun.
They did
They were
go
neat.
hard.
They were
went
neat.
hard. They were great.
I don't know if I would model a whole room after them. And
It was a lot, but they were trying.
I
Were
know.
okay, so who was it? Was it your mom and Jason, or?
No, this is before Jason. This was
your
mostly
mom?
Mom. I think grandma was the mastermind behind it.
Yeah.
Listen,
That sounds about
anything,
right.
They
anything
painted-
where your
they
grandma's the mastermind behind something, I don't trust it immediately.
They
Exactly.
did like they printed out like cutouts of the toys I liked and painted them on the walls
God,
with
I
like our
forgot
family's
about
faces
that.
pasted over them.
I forgot about that. Dude, I
And-
totally blocked that out of my memory.
And they painted the whole room
It's-
baby blue,
Yeah.
which I didn't ask for that.
Did they do something special for you and Logan's room?
I had a sticker collection. I had yellow walls.
That's all you had.
Yeah. I had yellow walls. I collected stickers.
Had a big rug because it was a hardwood floor, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had a big rug.
It wasn't originally, but they took the carpet out.
Yeah, so it was kind of shitty floor, so they slapped a rug over it.
Yeah, and you hid things under the rug.
I had what?
And you hid things under the rug.
No, it was under the mattress.
No, that's not where I found it. I vividly remember finding that.
Was it under the rug?
It was under the rug where I found your
You were
naughty notebook.
You were so proud of it.
You had a naughty notebook?
No, I told you about the naughty notebook.
No, you haven't.
No, it wasn't much of. It was more of a notepad.
Yeah, me and
he practiced drawing middle fingers and titties in it.
Okay, hold on. Now listen.
And curse words.
No, I'm not gonna defend myself because that's 100% true. But I was not alone. All right. I drew those on the bus with a girl that I liked at the time. I used to sit with her on the bus, and I'd be like, oh, and she'd be like, oh, do that, and pass it back. And then I'd have it at the end of the day, and I didn't know where to put it, and I could have just put it in my backpack, and nobody would have seen it.
Yeah,
But I was
You
like,
hid it under the rug like
but
a
I was
porno
like,
mag.
I was like, this is contraband.
I wouldn't have noticed it, but I was sitting on the carpet playing a game because you had the GameCube in your room.
Yeah,
And I felt it. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
yeah.
And so I put on the carpet like,
It's my little titty notebook. You
Yeah.
narked me so hard.
I did.
You narked me so fucking hard.
I feel like
no trust, dog. No trust.
Although I feel out of the three of you, I feel like Logan would be the narc the most often. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong.
Was it you?
Yeah, it was CJ.
I mean,
for sure.
it was definitely a toss-up between you or Logan, but I felt like it was.
I
Logan.
openly admit that I used to be a massive piece of shit for a long time.
A little bit, but there was redeeming qualities, of course. But
Was there?
Some.
I don't know, but I married him, so I
True.
guess it
True.
worked out in the
Well,
end.
it took me. Eventually, I got my shit together.
True. Well, I was in here with Xander the other night. We were talking about you. Just the glow up, just fucking unreal.
Xander is weird, man.
Xander is weird. He's
He-
trying.
He
so
flatters me so hard, and I'm like, dude, it's starting to sound
I love
gay.
Xander.
hard. I know.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
He's great.
welcomed
The
me so
relationship
Yeah.
between like you five brothers is so insane to me, because like you guys are all like really really close for the most part.
We weren't for a long time. Like it
True.
took us. Me and Zach only really started getting close in the last like maybe
I'd say we were.
not even 10 years.
I'd say we were very close growing up. I don't know.
Growing well, yeah, but then I mean, when I was a real dick
Well, then.
and I got kicked out of the house.
Yeah, there was a
and-
period of time where we weren't close because lack of communication and just all that stuff.
And I was a dick to you too, and I don't want to belittle that part of it.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of it is, we're talking daddy issues. Is Dad really fucked me up, and I don't think he realizes how bad he fucked me up
True.
because
I don't want to think about it.
he
No,
was
he ignores it.
He was my hero
Yeah.
for most of my life.
Yep.
Nobody talks about how hard that is. How
Yeah.
you go from being like really close with your dad to like all of a sudden like
Holding him in this high regard.
regard, and then like if something like fucks that up.
Yeah.
That like mental image.
And
you
then
had.
he dangles attention in front of you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I still have like abandonment issues
Yeah.
I have
today
issues with
I also have a degree of that as well.
because it's just
For
like
sure.
it was
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah, it's
I'm
messed
starting
up.
to realize
It's very
my
odd.
mom might have done me more damage than my dad, just because my dad really wasn't there.
Do you guys
Yeah.
ever think
That
about
is
that?
true. It's-
Do you guys ever think about like the different like, I mean, us now as parents, like I've thought about like the possible damage I could like put onto our son.
It's horrifying, but
But like, have you ever thought about like even though I know you both like really love your mom, but like the possible damage she's done to you, like
Oh,
without
I'm
knowing.
very aware.
Oh yeah.
I can.
I've become more so aware in the last few years. Very much. You've seen it.
I owe
Yeah.
her a lot because
She
put up with me when she really did not have any reason to put up with me.
Yeah.
I did some terrible shit. But at
you
the
worked
same
on us a
time,
little bit.
at the same time, there came a time when, and this is fairly recent, and it's a pressure wound.
Yeah.
I was in an abusive house before I moved into the one I'm in now.
Absolutely.
And you can be in your mid-20s and get abused.
Totally.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Totally.
And
I mean, we've seen...
my uncle at the time, well, he's still my uncle.
Still your uncle, but at the time he was.
Yeah, at the time he was an asshole and
Yeah.
drinking, and I was living in the same house as him, and I couldn't have a peaceful day because everything was my fault. I would get woken up in the middle of the night and being told how stupid I am and how worthless I am.
Yeah.
I couldn't use the computer because he would yell at me for taking his bandwidth.
Yeah.
Like he would come
Dude,
hunt me down.
such boomer arguments, dude.
And I would be sleeping and he'd bang on my door and say like, "What are you fucking doing? Why are you asleep right now?" And I one time I remember and I had to leave. I ran off. I went to grandma's.
Yep.
Because I woke up because he was yelling. He had gotten drunk off vodka and he was threatening to come down and beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And he was saying, "Oh, I ruined his life and all this shit." And a lot of that is because he has a thing against my father. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which their beef is very weird to me. The whole family dynamic there with that group of siblings is.
And here's the thing:
as
strange as it sounds, Boone is resentful towards our father for much the same reason that we are.
Oh yeah.
He's resentful of our father because our father left us.
He dipped out. Yeah.
And Boone's actually angry. Like he was angry on our behalf.
Yeah.
It's just that
he was directing it in a weird way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that messed with me a lot too.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Mom, I felt betrayed that she didn't make any effort to get me out of that.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I'm an adult. I'm mid-20s, and then, like, I held nothing against you guys, but this was before she gave you guys the guest house.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't. I asked her, she wouldn't give it to me. She wouldn't even. I would say, "I'll work for it. I'll do whatever you need." She wouldn't give it to me, and then she gave it to you guys, and I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
okay."
I remember that. too.
I was resentful for
Yeah,
a while.
'cause I had no idea that you
had asked for it.
Yeah, I had no clue.
I wanted out of that abuse.
Yeah.
I would have done anything.
I remember how quickly after you moved in, because I was living there when you moved in with me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how quickly we left?
I think I moved in February. We had a place lined up and a moving date for the end of June.
Because I
like it was like,
dude, I felt so
looking.
bad living there. I felt terrible. I was guilty all the time. Cause
we were we felt grateful, but it's hard to feel grateful for something when people are always like reminding you of how grateful you should be.
That's true.
Oh, is that how it was?
A little bit.
Little bit. It's just like you guys are getting a really good deal.
At the time, you were treating it very gracefully outwardly. I know.
I was trying. I was really trying.
It was very, very frustrating. It was never you, but it was quite literally every single other person around us was telling us how grateful we should be and this, that, and the other. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
It's like we're trying to be
independent. We're using this as a launch pad, and we already feel bad that we're here. Can we just get out of here while we can? You know.
I think that's the biggest reason why we I don't want to say jumped the nest, but jumped the nest so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I was already living down here on my own. That was a totally different thing.
Yeah.
But to have your parents as a support was something that I was super grateful for. And then I was slowly starting to regret that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish I would have just stayed on my own.
Yeah.
A little bit longer.
Yeah. No. But yeah, that was very odd. That was such an odd situation.
A big part of me being stuck relying on others for as long as I was definitely my inability to hold a job down, and that's mostly the big part of that's just because I was getting stuck with shit jobs.
Yeah, you were in a really weird spot because
I was still really depressed too.
True.
And I was ballooning even more than I was before.
Yeah.
I knew my teeth were starting to get bad. I was just really self-conscious about my looks.
Yeah.
And
I feel that. I get you.
Yeah, and it made it hard to work.
Yeah.
And then I tried to do college, and trying to do college and work while you're super depressed. Nope.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, you can probably relate.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It doesn't work. Society's not set up for people with mental illness
No.
at all. I feel like the only reason I've survived as long as I have is because I've literally just have pushed feelings down to the point where it doesn't get bad until things explode, and then even when they explode, I still feel like I need to chug forward. I don't feel like I can give myself a break.
Yeah.
To just be.
He's made it so I actually I relax more and I try to realize things more. My mother said something this weekend that just made me go, I just wanted to tell her to shut the fuck up because my mother's big on mental health and everything because she's legally nuts.
Of course, legally nuts.
She is legally nuts.
All right.
She is nuts. I'm not sure if they actually diagnosed her correctly at that time. It was the 90s.
But you have enough experience, you know.
I can't deny that.
It's your mom, you know.
Well, my sister's come to the conclusion while talking with my niece Alex that Alex might want to see if she has anything, if she has ADHD or anything else. She just wants to be tested just to be safe. And my mother just made this comment of, she's just a normal preteen and she doesn't need to be tested. And all I could think was, shut the fuck up. If she wants to be tested, let her be tested.
Yeah.
It's so good to, like, have that knowledge at hand. It makes you not feel crazy. Yeah. You'll do something that you think is, like, totally normal, but other people are like, that's so weird. And you're just like...
I still find things that you do that are very strange.
He calls me weird all the time.
Just earlier, I fucking called her crazy to your face because she was gonna cut noodles with scissors.
What? You've never heard of that?
No!
Thank you.
I still get on her case for how she eats cereal.
How do you eat cereal?
So all right. So what are the?
Please
don't say a word. Do not say a word to defend yourself until I'm finished. You understand?
Wow, that got aggressive.
Come on.
Because she'll try to cut in. So what are the two ways that you think people eat cereal? There's two main ways.
Dry, and with milk.
All right, with two ways with milk.
Okay.
How do they pour cereal? There's usually cereal then milk, or milk and then cereal.
Yeah.
It's a debate.
It's cereal and then milk.
It's cereal then milk.
Right. She does neither of those ways. Here's what she does. No. She does the milk first, then like a handful of cereal, then she'll eat that cereal, then a little more cereal, and then a little bit more cereal. I don't care the reasoning for
that
it.
Is
it's
insane.
Still weird.
That's crazy. That is nuts. Wait, do you sprinkle it with your hand?
I just
Salt Bae?
pour a little bit and then I eat it all. So
you Salt Bae the fucking Cheerios in.
I just like pour a little more in.
That is
and
nuts.
it drives them nuts.
I understand why you do it, but you're still crazy for doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know that.
That's a little up.
I get it. I do get it.
I definitely I think I just do minimal milk. I also don't like milk, so I just put like a little milk.
Man.
So most of my cereal is still dry and
Did you
doesn't
say
get
milk
soggy.
fell off?
The only thing I can think of that could, I used to eat it apparently like normal people, but the thing that I can think of when I started switching is my father got like a huge mixing bowl.
Father, you said the secret word.
Mixing bowl! Why do you need a mixing bowl? And poured a whole freaking container in there.
Because he's hungry.
And then and he ate maybe a quarter of it, and then the rest was trash and soggy and...
Oh, no, you're right. That is kind of gross. I mean, I hate cleaning up after your cereal bowls.
All right, listen.
Remember that day at daycare I got drunk on milk?
How do you get drunk on milk?
Oh my god.
Alright, so me and Zach were at daycare for...
Our daycare stories are fucking crazy, too.
I don't have a whole lot of them, because that's because of something that happened at daycare that muddled a lot of my memories.
That probably fucked your brain up a little bit.
I remember it, but I don't remember much after it.
Yeah.
We were at daycare at one point, and when we went to daycare, they had, like, breakfast, but it was usually just, like, dry cereal and milk.
It was Cheerios without sugar. I remember that. It was
Cheerios
sugarless
sugar.
Cheerios and then skim milk.
I usually would just drink cups of milk. One day, for whatever reason, I decided I'm going to drink all of the milk.
As much milk as you possibly can.
I believe I went up to like 12 full glasses of milk. Yeah. I'm just sitting here like slamming them down while everyone's playing.
Oh, that's so gross.
I'm over somewhere gambling with Yogos or some shit, and he's fucking yeah. No,
that's where I hit my head.
Yes.
And my head messed up a little bit.
It was
because there was a couple of bullies. They were twins.
I remember them. They didn't have hair.
And we were in line to get on the bus to go to school, because that's where we were at the daycare, because Mom had to go to work before we had to go to school. Yeah. So she would drop us there. We'd stay there for an hour or two. Yeah. And then they would bus us to school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we were on line to get into the bus, and these kids tried to cut in line, and they pushed me. Yeah. And I fell back, and I like hit my head on the corner or something like this, like a bookcase.
It was a bookshelf.
And I just split my head the back.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there screaming.
That was horrifying.
Yeah. I'm sure it was.
That was
I
horrifying.
don't remember much about it after that.
That was horrifying.
Did those kids get in trouble?
Oh yeah, they never came back to the daycare
I was
after
going to
that.
say I don't remember.
They got kicked out of that daycare program.
That's awesome.
But
I remember that shit.
Yeah,
Pretty
and I had a lot of trouble remembering a lot of stuff from around that time after that.
Yeah, they
probably gave me a major concussion.
Well, you got something because there was a lot of blood. You were opened up, which is funny because I think I'm the only kid who hasn't had, or the only brother that hasn't had stitches in the head.
Yeah,
I think I'm the only one.
Yeah,
that's
Change
amazing.
that.
I've hit my head plenty. But like, I never got stitches.
Have you broken a bone?
Have I broken a bone? I think I broke my toe because it's still not
think?
straight, and also my hand. I know I broke my hand, but
I've only broke one bone. And
Yeah.
That was my tailbone.
you broke your ass?
Yes, I broke it not once.
Did you like
but
go down the
twice.
stairs?
No, so the first one was because I fell in a hayloft when there was no hay, and that shit is harder than concrete, by the way.
A what? A hayloft?
Yes, a hayloft. But
Like a barn, kind of.
I was
Oh.
helping clean a barn before we were leaving Texas.
Yeah.
Well, I put my foot in a hole apparently that I didn't see and fell down, stood up,
I did that.
and then put it into a totally different hole and fell
John
down
Cole's
again.
fucking barn, dude.
That's all I was about to say. I've done that.
That place was literally a death trap.
Yeah.
I don't know why they let us run around in that barn.
I just did it because there was a girl that liked me there.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. I remember that too. I was like, damn. Get it, boy. Get
Oh
it.
my god.
I was so proud. I was like, damn.
I mean,
She might have been related. Let's be honest.
no.
It's
Oh,
possible.
God. Yeah, don't.
She might have been related.
Possibly.
I guess it depends on like how many cousins though.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't.
It was a
wasn't.
distant relative for sure.
I
like
don't
a
think it was a
s-
relative.
like
It
a
was
fr-
not.
Don't
Don't try to purport that.
All right. All right.
Wow.
What? Hey man, that side of the family is so blurry. There's so much going on that side.
I don't like where this is going at all.
So
What do you mean?
someone was on Ancestry and is just realizing, so our cousins have been marrying often. Wait,
Well,
isn't
yeah.
this guy I had a crush on when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Whew,
Isn't that my grandparents? Why are those lines crossing so many times? What?
We got a little bit of that.
We got a little bit of that. We got some inbred in us.
Yeah.
That's all right though.
Do you want to put that out in the
What?
internet?
That we're inbred?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, most people.
I got a
are
cliff
one
lip.
way or
You
another
can't see it.
if you
Yeah.
go far enough
We're like
back.
third. We're
Well,
like third
sure.
generation though. We're like third generation.
Yeah,
we're pretty
farther
far
enough.
detached.
We're far enough down. We started getting some oil in the pipes.
Yeah.
I still don't know
We're far enough down to
how
have the
that's
shame
how she
removed. I
found
think
out.
it's not. You know.
She was on Ancestry and she realized that her parents were fifth cousins.
Well,
Right,
that,
well,
okay,
fifth,
well,
all
that's
right.
You're going
like,
to fifth cousins. You're not gonna be. You're
Who
not gonna
gives
give
a
birth
shit?
to a Neanderthal. You're gonna be okay. Like I don't know.
But no one knew.
Okay.
They absolutely didn't know that she was doing the tree. Though I have known a lady who did date her first cousin.
Well, that's all right. There's just a couple of vines,
All
you
right.
know, tying the branches
That's
together on the
so
family tree.
gross.
Ain't nothing wrong with.
Yeah.
eh.
But
But what?
that was
What the farm?
that was like the only crush I had for a long time. I didn't date until I was like,
I was gonna say like you had so much stuff going on that really you didn't.
I
have
didn't
time
I didn't
for
have a
that
girlfriend
kind
until
of
2016.
shit. True.
No, 2015.
I was gonna say I thought it was earlier than that.
Yeah, 2015.
Damn,
I
dude.
could
It wasn't your-
2014 I had someone leave a love knocker in my love note in my locker
A love
and I
locker.
threw it out
That's gangster.
because I was like, ain't no way this is legit.
dude,
I'm
you
getting
were
set up.
Dude, growing up, you were the definition of bros before hoes.
Well,
Absolutely.
I mean, it had to be a setup. I was like, there ain't no way she's talking about me.
True.
Yeah,
True.
so I was just like,
That yeah, we were on that low self-esteem type shit. Feel that?
that was the same day I got hit with a cop car. Like the cop that was on duty at that school accidentally backed into me in the parking lot.
What? I have heard so many things. I thought I knew everything about you. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh hell no.
Because we were together a lot growing up.
Well, I mean, this was my senior year of high school. I had already moved out.
Fair. This was in that time of kind of separation.
Yeah.
We weren't really.
No, I had decided I was reading the note and I was just like, nah.
Yeah. And then you walked out
And then,
outside after
and then
you
I was
away your
yeah,
love note and
after
got
I
hit
threw
by
away
a
the
cop
love
car.
note. It got. It wasn't like a violent hit. Obviously, I'm fine.
Yeah.
He backed into me and knocked me over. He stopped as soon as he felt it.
Toppled over. He said, "Oh."
And of course, he was so sorry. He was like, "Oh my god, dude, I'm so sorry. I did not mean. I didn't see you." Oh,
Did he write himself a ticket?
He can't write himself a ticket. He actually has to get a whole nother cop to come.
You know the protocol?
Yes, I do, because I've known a few people who hadn't.
Who are you? What do you... Every time there's a question that I don't really know what's going on, she's like, actually, for real, they do this. It's a real thing.
There is a protocol.
That's amazing though.
I never.
That school was fucking weird, man.
Which one was it?
Springfield.
Oh yeah.
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 I had a lot of weird shit happen. That was my last year. I was only there for 1 year.
Yep.
And it was a lot of weird shit.
Yeah.
I had the guy who really was super convinced that I was into his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Super convinced.
There's always gonna be one of them.
And I didn't like his girlfriend that much. I mean, she was okay, but I didn't really.
Yeah.
And
not
then
the
it-
way that he, you know.
No, we tolerated each other,
Yeah.
which is more than I could say for a lot of people in that school.
Fair.
And then I was just sitting at the lunch table one day, and he walked up, tapped me on the shoulder, and then sucker punched me.
I remember this. I remember this happening.
And I got up and to look at him, and then one of the school jocks got in between us and was yelling in his face like, "What the fuck, bro? What's up? What's up?"
What the fuck, bro?
And so the funny part of that is that's high school. It happens.
Yeah, because you turn around, you get smacked, and you're like, "What did I do?"
That's the thing is he hit like a bitch too. I'm not trying to be braggadocious, but it did not hurt at all.
Yeah.
Like the force of it threw me a little bit because it was forceful.
Well,
It
yeah,
pushed me,
surprise, surprise.
but it didn't. It didn't hurt.
Yeah.
But the funny part of that is that I got taken back. He didn't realize I was a senior, I guess.
Yeah.
So I got taken back to the nurse's office, and I'm talking with the principal, and he was like, "Well, you are 18,
Yeah.
so you can press charges if you would like."
Did you?
No,
Damn, dude.
no, I didn't. But that's the thing is that he didn't realize that I was 18 and that I could have pressed charges.
Yeah.
So for the rest of that school year, he was my bitch. Like he would buy lunch for me.
Oh my God! What?
I mean it. He would offer to buy lunch for me. He would get me drinks and stuff. Because he knew if I decided I wanted to press charges for a couple months ago, I could, and he'd be stuck. He'd be in the shit. I didn't ask him to do this shit. He just was he's very apologetic. And there's a really funny story is that years later, I want to say 2019,
Yeah.
I was really looking for a job. This was shortly before I went to Texas.
Yeah.
I was looking for it would have been 2018 then, early 2018, because I went to Texas in summer 2018.
Gotcha.
So early 2018, I'm looking for a job, and I get a job at a call center, a
remember.
telemarketing.
I remember.
Telemarketing thing. I didn't do it much. I started training, and then I didn't have the heart to do it because they were asking me to try to peddle money from old ladies.
Oh
And
yeah.
I remember this.
I didn't have the heart for it. I stopped after training. I got paid for training, so whatever.
Yeah.
One of the other people getting trained was that girlfriend, and I didn't address it directly at the time because I was like, she looks familiar.
Yeah.
And then we were talking in between classes, in the training classes, and I got didn't your boyfriend try to beat the shit out of me in high school one year?
Yeah.
And she was like, I was hoping you wouldn't recognize me. I'm sorry, this is awkward. So she had been hoping I wouldn't catch on to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, didn't he punch me and then
And then buy me lunch for half the school year?
Yeah.
Didn't that happen? Man, that I got it. That yeah, I remember all of that shit. So good. Yeah, your school experience was so odd to me.
Well, I went through so many of them.
True. Well, I mean, same, I mean, just going through the amount of schools that we did coming up,
Definitely.
it was one of those things where we kind of had to adapt wherever we went. We had to kind of just start from a blank slate every time, and after a while, it just became kind of easy to give up on it. But then, people would be almost attached to the idea of, oh, that dude doesn't care what people think of him. And it's like, well, yeah, because I think I'm probably going to move in another year.
Well, and we also had different paths, vastly different paths.
True.
Because,
we forked off. We,
You stuck to regular school, but for a long time.
True.
I was in like IEP classes and disabled classes.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
They did not.
So was
they
it
did not
hard?
treat
Was
you
it
well.
like hard to switch schools then when you had like all these like IEPs?
It depended, because you gotta understand back. This is mid 2000s, and it's surprising to think of how recently these programs have started to blossom. But even in mid 2000s,
They were so.
a lot of schools didn't have classes for the mentally ill.
Yeah.
And back then, even. So when I finally got an IEP class, like a class for people who have mental disabilities, they didn't have a classroom. This was in Lincoln. This was in Lincoln. I'm not gonna get. That's not those stories.
Yeah, please. That shit was dark. They did not treat you good there.
I was in Lincoln, and we had a closet, a supply closet. It was it was a decent sized closet, but it was just a little side closet, and that was our classroom. And we got to meet once a week. We talked for about 30 minutes, and that was all the support I got.
Yep.
And they basically put that together because they were forced to by parents.
Yep.
And my mom kind of like spearheaded that. She was very proactive in that. And when I moved over to... No, that wasn't my first one. Wait, no, that was. It was. Because then after I graduated from Lincoln, the middle school I went to was Bullock.
Yeah.
And Bullock had a more in-place... And Bullock's program was actually very good. I have very fond memories of everyone at Bullock. And
I remember you really, really liking that school in
well,
general.
because they had a program in place that was really good for me and actually helped me. But it was the name of the program. So when you have they call it was the ED class, the emotionally disturbed.
Oh.
That was the official name for this class.
That's just salt in the wound right there. That is just right in the wound. Ouch.
Oh, I'm crying. That's so fucking funny.
And it wasn't even that. Like, they would peddle off, like, petty work to us, too. Like, we were in charge
they made you do slave labor.
We were in charge of all the recycling.
Yeah.
We had
oh my god. No. Wait, I remember this. I had a similar program in my high school.
Oh, man. Actually, you know what?
Where
Same.
they cleaned
Wait, why do they always have...
Where they cleaned the cafeteria.
This is normal because this was not normal when I was in high school.
Yeah, no.
Wait, but I was only in the physical high school for like 1 year.
Fair. But they always had the people that were in those classes doing the fucking dirty work around the school.
Yeah, like they were like clean the cafeteria.
And there was always a
the
very
trash.
wide spectrum. I think a lot of people don't talk about the wide spectrum of people that were in these classes. Because there were folks like you who where, you're very high functioning and obvious,
I don't know if I was as high functioning back then, but
not as much, but you were still
I know what you mean.
and then you would have, the more severe, the downs and all that stuff.
I didn't have the downs. That's a different disorder.
No, you didn't.
That's a different syndrome.
The classes did.
The classes had the downs.
Some of them.
I don't know if they were in school if they had that.
What, Down syndrome?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't remember seeing any of them?
I didn't have any Down syndrome kids in my...
You didn't?
No.
Dude, I always had this one Down syndrome kid that would always...
This feels like a bad topic.
That would always
like,
pick up... That would always go around my lunch table and pick up the trash, and I always felt weird about it. I was like, I don't like the...
They just had like an Igor.
Yeah.
I do remember that though. It wasn't like during lunch for us though. It was like after.
Yeah.
It was like after lunch they would like help put the tables away.
I would always
lunchroom.
like for a while I was
Yeah.
just giving them the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, they're choosing to do this, but then after a while I was like, wait, they're having them do this. What? This is weird. This is a little weird.
Maybe they classified it as like life skills.
Maybe, but they were just making them wash dishes
Oh.
and shit. Like
The pinnacle of mental illness class for me though was my junior year when I went to the private school.
Oh my god, that was my favorite because you know what happened? You owned that fucking school. You absolutely owned that fucking school.
I don't know if I'd say I owned it.
Come on, you owned the libs, dude. You owned the
libs?
Yeah, you owned the libs, dude. The fucking the fire retardant always gets me every single time. That's my favorite fucking thing in the entire world. I cannot believe they were like cross
Yeah,
out the,
I told you about that, didn't I?
No.
So I went. Did I tell you about the school I went to? So it was at a time when I was really on the outs with my mom because I had really started acting up.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, we're going to step things up a notch and I'm going to put you in a school that's just for kids with learning disabilities.
Yeah.
And I was supportive at first until I got the school supply list and I saw one holy Bible.
Your mom did it.
It was a Christian school. I had not been made privy to this.
I didn't either until you were already in, and I gotta say, fucking gold.
Now,
Fucking gold.
They never tried to force my hand too much, but like there was a science teacher. We'll call him Mr. S.
Yeah.
We were reading a science textbook, and he was like, now we're going to go to this page and cross out the word retardant. We don't use that. And I'm like...
It's like, that's kind of retarded.
Why don't we
think?
use that? Because, you know, it's used in such a bad context now. And I'm like...
Retardant as in like...
Yeah, as in fire
like fire
retardant.
retardant.
It's a science class.
Yeah.
And so I said, and the argument I made was, instead of like crossing it out every time it's used, why don't we celebrate when it's used correctly and then cross it out when it's used incorrectly?
Dude.
And he was like, just cross it out.
Dude.
And I'm like, and I have a thing where if I really don't want to do something, I will be stubborn and not fucking do it.
True.
Yeah.
And so I'm still like that.
I borderline admire your stubbornness sometimes. It's fucking...
I don't do it as often now.
True.
Like, I remember one of the earliest times I did was I was in music class. They wanted me to do a dance where I swung my arms like a monkey. And for some reason, I just put my foot down. I'm not doing it. I look stupid. And I got in trouble for it because I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do this monkey dance. But no, I kind of turned around and I was like, you can do it then because I don't want to do it. Can you do it for me? And he was like, you're just staying here after class. And I missed lunch that day.
they made you miss lunch because you wouldn't... Oh my fucking god.
That's insane.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought it was going to be some kind of like cross out this biology section because God made the earth or something.
No, they weren't bad about that.
No, that's Texas.
They weren't
That sounds Texas-y.
That sounds sexy.
they weren't too bad about forcing it on me if I didn't want to participate.
That's good.
At
least.
I remember one of our teachers was also a high-ranking executive at Coca-Cola.
What the
I know, which
what?
is that weird?
Why are you moonlighting as a fucking...
And she was telling us stories about all the stuff she got up to at the Coca-Cola Corporation.
Do you think she was lying?
No, because I looked it up. I got on LinkedIn.
She's got a LinkedIn! Oh my fucking god.
That's gold. Honestly, joining the professional world and listening to how much people talk about, oh, have you checked their LinkedIn?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Do you see the video of... do you watch Doug at all?
No.
Oh my god.
I'm unfamiliar.
Doug, he does a lot of experiments using Twitch chat and AI and stuff like that.
Oh, I'm in.
He had a thing where he kept on getting like spammy, not real emails from LinkedIn trying to get him to people trying to recruiters like AI automated recruiters.
Gotcha.
And he's like, well, I'm going to let an AI totally rewrite my LinkedIn profile. And we will see. And he took prompts from chat, like starting prompts from chat and let it go from there. And then we'll see if they still... That's a good video. The one was just like...
You said Doug?
Doug.
Gotcha.
Oh my god.
I'm looking this shit up.
You need to watch that video.
Absolutely.
I'm going to watch that video again. I won't, because he would put down his real job title that he had at this point.
Yeah.
And then he would like hit generate, and then it would go on. And at one point, it goes off like, I am a god. I call myself Diablo the cheater. I use Skyrim mods to turn the game into a sex simulator in a fucking nebula.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
He changed his picture to him in like a Wario cosplay, a Waluigi cosplay.
I guarantee you, they would hire him at the village.
Well, I guarantee you, he kept on getting spam recruiting emails that didn't work.
Damn, that's a shame. Well, I know you guys have dogs. You guys probably have to get home to your dog sometime soon.
At some point.
So.
Also, Doug is the brother of the guy who did the Stanley Parable.
What?
Yeah, he's the Stanley Parable author's brother.
All right. So I think we're gonna end on that because I think I want to actually watch these videos.
We're trying to see if
we're not ending the episode to eat this time?
Unless you want a snack.
I would love a snack.
Oh my god, the LinkedIn still has the stuff that he put on
I'm
there.
gonna have him actually choose dessert for Saturday.
Ooh.
I'm having
What-
him help choose.
What's your snack choice for tonight?
My snack choice for tonight?
Yeah.
I was debating on ice cream or those like Mother's Day snack
We have some
cakes.
pastries. Yeah, we got some
Yeah.
pastries we can work on.
And I'm looking at our logo, eating Twinkies in the dark, and I'm like, should I do the snack cakes?
Yeah. You think the snack cakes are the move?
No, I think I'm definitely going ice cream this time. You choose what you want to, because you had a Jamocha shake, so
That's true. That might be a little bit much. I don't know if I want a snack.
then don't eat a snack.
I'll
I'll be fat by
I
myself.
have a thing of fries I'm gonna have.
You're like, fucking take the fries, bro.
Yeah,
The
I can't eat
fries.
them. They're too crunchy on my old people.